good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is your host, Other Jake. Welcome to another episode of Utherverse Live here with our co-host and founder of Utherverse, Brian Shuster. How you doing there, Brian?
Hi, Jake. Good. Excited for another show and a recap of another really phenomenal week.
Productive week.
How you
Another.
doing?
It's already Thursday again.
Yeah, amazing, and it's nice to see lots of familiar faces here. But I think we got to get some other people in the space.
Yeah. Okay. So with that being said, let's do this real quick. Do a little bit of housekeeping. We are doing more giveaways today. In order for you to be eligible, if you're listening today, I should start by saying this: we are now hosting and broadcasting on YouTube as well. So you can catch us on Otherverse account on YouTube and here on X. In order to win, though, you must be listening and in the space on X. That's not the only way to win. You have to be listening here actively. You have to retweet the space, repost the space, tag 3 friends. Make sure you're following Otherverse. That makes you eligible to win the prizes here today. And we are doing 3 giveaways today. And if you were listening last week, you may be eligible for the 2x multiplier of your prize. So welcome in all. I'm also doing this today. So we have a lot of real, diehard fans and community members here. And if you have Otherverse in your profile or as your bubble, as your profile picture, I'm going to invite you up to the stage to be on stage and be a part of this with us if you care to. So if you got a request, just know that's why.
Very cool, very cool. And yeah, shout out to everybody on YouTube. It's nice. We're expanding. We're expanding our profile, our presence, our social media impact, so that we can spread the word as really things are ramping up with the software on really on all fronts. So, time to get the word out to everybody, and I appreciate everybody's effort over the last week in reposting our messaging. Is pretty apparent that we've uh, gone into a higher gear on social media and on marketing, and the dividends and the results are paying off. And so we're going to continue to escalate.
Yeah, absolutely.
And thanks for your help.
Yeah, thank you all so much. Also, speaking of that, I see 43 people here. Only 29 have reposted this. Make sure if you want to be eligible, you repost this space. Actually, the space itself that makes you eligible for the prizes today.
All right,
Oh,
fantastic. Well, with that housekeeping out of the
where do
way,
we start, Brian?
well, uh, uh, there are so many things to talk about, but I wonder what is on the top of the mind of community. I guess what I want to start off by saying is how phenomenal is it that we got this new patch out, um, and so much assistance with our stress tests. And obviously, all of this progress that we're making now and lining up businesses and partnership deals. And it's fantastic for me to, whenever I'm landing in the world, I see that, it's always busy. There's always people. What a phenomenal cure for boredom, even if there aren't events going on. It's so much fun, so entertaining. And it's really nice to see this product coming to life. I'm looking at the statistics. I see, we're already at least competitive in terms of users and user metrics with both Decentraland and the Sandbox. And we're climbing. Obviously, we're going to eclipse them, I believe, in short order. Um, but it's nice to see that just already, these numbers are really screaming. And and it's fun to check out the new regions that we've added in, the nightclubs, the DJs that are going to be playing there, the art galleries. We've opened the Mindy Gallery, and we're going to have some really neat shows coming through that. So that partnership really starting to activate. Um, and what can I say? The stress testing, it's really been quite productive. I'm trying to ensure that before we do large scale events, before we've got 50,000 people and then 500,000 people and then 5 million people, we've got to test. test what kind of things could break. And so, of course, the stress tests are all designed to point out weaknesses in the network. And so, obviously, people are going to have some issues during these tests because that's the whole point of the test
Mhm.
is to have people encounter issues and to try to create issues to see how well the system is able to cope with it, what types of problems we might encounter. But so it may go on for a little while longer, but I'm gaining more and more confidence that we're at the uh, at this stage of development where when we're not doing a stress test, the software obviously is working like a champ, and then when we turn things on, um, we're discovering where we might encounter problems. But
Sure.
this isn't going to go on for all that much longer before we really start to blow stuff up and move into the next phase.
Sure.
So
Very good.
all
Very
exciting.
exciting. Yeah, and if you're unaware of what Brian's speaking about, so we started doing stress tests on Xeon browser this week, and unlike the launch party, they're not planned. So we're gonna have a lot more of them, like you just said. So if you want to be a part of it and you weren't able to be a part of it, smash that bell, turn the notifications on here for on our X page. That will notify you every time we post, and because a lot of times they're impromptu. Our devs say we got 30 minutes, get all the testers that want to be a part of it out. Let's try to crash this thing. And the more people that we can get involved, really the better.
Yeah, yeah, and they can be a lot of fun. It's and they're probably going to change in character too, where it's going to be let's all go and do this and see if we can't find any problems. Let's all go swimming. Let's all
Yeah.
change clothes. And we'll probably start doing parties around it and all that. But the impromptu sort of pop up like, okay, let's stress test this because we just worked on this component of the network. But it's been a fun week that way. And as I say, I'm really, if you haven't seen my patch notes, the formatting on X, obviously, for putting out the patch notes, it breaks a lot of the formatting. But you'll see I mean, I can never post all the patch notes. It's just too much. But lots of new stuff in there, and really getting ready for the next these next sprints, the event system, the ticketing system. It's great now. We've got something that went maybe it doesn't have the impact when it's in patch notes that it does when I talk about it, or the impact to me. But now being able to dial in different audio streams and different video streams, different areas and in different formats, this was really we were really depending on this to be able to start to have the kinds of events that we really want to launch out imminently with. Uh, Things like the music events and DJ parties and that really blow up. Um, so now the clubs have various clubs have video screens. There's all kinds of fun pyrotechnics, uh, uh, different areas with dynamic content. So it makes it much easier for us to be able to do these things either on the fly or at a minimum without patching. The installer has been updated, so it's now much more efficient to be able to patch or to be able to install the software. And so all of these things, it's like the million little pieces that go into actually getting the product Xeon out so that it fulfills its destiny, shall I say, to become the next layer of the internet. There's so many I's to dot and T's to cross, but we're crossing them off the list and making huge progress. So I'm bubbling over.
What's your favorite aspect so far? Now that we're live in Xeon.
I'm really looking forward to the convention.
Yeah.
I know I don't even think I shared with you, Jake, the template booths that we've got coming out for the trade show floor.
Yeah. No.
But they're absolutely next level. Um, and I'm also, I think, imminently mostly excited about the upgrades that are about to happen to the social center are Web 2. Um, uh, uh, what's the word I'm looking for? The Web 2 component of our virtual world web. So when you right click on an avatar in world, you can pull up their profile. And that takes you to our Web 2 component, which is a fully featured social center and social media application. This thing is about to be launched out with the next generation there, which is play to earn built in, gamification built
Oh.
in, all kinds of new features of news feeds and hosted video and albums and customization. I mean, it really, I'm almost hesitant to say it, but because a lot of people have a negative inference from this, but the best parts of what made MySpace, the original social media,
Mm-hmm.
so popular. Really, the ability to have this become your social media home and customized to you, and then with all of the modernization and best attributes of Facebook, Instagram, um, X, and obviously all of that's not happening immediately, but a lot of it is. But the play to earn aspects and the Wuther, oh shoot, uh, I shouldn't have said that, but
Sorry.
there's new token stuff
It's funny.
that's going to
It's
happen
it's
also.
funny because that was one. The reason I'm laughing. It's one of the things that. It's one of the. It's one of the things we swore not to say.
Well, I sort of spilt the beans. So this I think is something which people are going to be very impressed with imminently. So. Uh, and don't let me wrap up this show without talking about Uther.
Yeah, no,
There's a lot
no,
of
that's on my. That's right here
great.
on my notes. But just to kind of reiterate, that was a big, Brian, and we talked about this. That the play to earn is one of the most asked about elements.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, because we did start before we went live. We did all the Web3 play to earn stuff, and that was before they were able to go in world. So
right.
now that we can go in world and they can really, we had a quest for Christmas that was, I think, the first test for everything, and it went pretty well, and I think that it got people excited. So people are asking a lot about that. So the fact that you brought that up, it's ironic.
Yeah, great. Well, and it's not even. It's going to be a whole new character style of play to earn. So it's not even. I mean, obviously there can be quests and play to earn that way and prizes, but play to earn like just by coming in. Just by going to your own profile and setting some things up. Lots of fun, like earning prizes and badges, and on top of that, earning Wuther for doing doing regular kinds of activities that really going to put a polish on everything. So the system, I mean, I'm not gonna let more of the cat out of the bag than I already did, but there's a lot of other stuff that is below the radar that's just going to surprise people that all of a sudden it's going to go live and it's a whole new dimension to everything. So uh, yeah, it's almost becoming difficult for me to keep track of all the progress that's being made and sequencing everything to this is apparent because I slipped and spilled spilled something. But not like that's really a trade secret. Just was going to be more of a surprise early part of next week. I guess it's appropriate. This is the space for alpha anyway.
Hmm.
So,
Hmm.
um, but so many things that are being activated. I've talked about this over and over the course of the last couple of years that we have teams building so many different pieces and. Um, there's so much that has been built that just needs to get plugged in. And as we plug these things in, it's going to look like holy moly, how did these guys do this in like 4 weeks? I was like, well, yeah, okay, because we worked on it for 12 months, but it just you couldn't see it until everything else was ready to support it, and then click, it's in. and that's really what we're starting to see. So the next few months are going to be absolutely crazy, and I'm just excited to see these stress tests starting to generate the confidence that we're going to be able to host the number of people that we're going to attract.
Yeah, and without saying too much, that's one of the, speaking outwardly to the community. That's one of the real big reasons we really uh, want all everyone to help and be a part of this uh, these stress tests, because what we have in the works and the people that we have lined up to potentially come in and have events, we'll just say, it is next level. So make sure, I want to reiterate and also do a little housekeeping. If you want to be a part of that stress test, they do come up day of, so make sure you smash that bell, turn the notifications on here on X for Utherverse, and become become a part of it.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Well, we're almost a third of the way through. Maybe we take a opportunity here to find a winner.
Let's find a winner. Okay.
And of course, we use X Picker, so that's why to make everything fair, we award the prizes on X. We'll see what we can do for YouTube as that platform also starts to grow. But for now, X Picker.
Yeah, yeah. Great point. Yeah. So and because it's the first week, it's people don't know yet, and the algorithm hasn't caught in other YouTube yet. But right now, just the prizes are only being given away here in X. So with that being said, we are here. I'm getting this all loaded up. Let's see here, and there's a lot of different parameters here for the X picker. And to make it fair, we have the minimum tweets to any. um we make it we set the bar very low so everyone has a chance to win. Your account doesn't have to be verified, or you can have less than 25 followers. That's fine, as long as you're here listening live. That's the real thing that counts to be able to win here. All right.
Oh, the suspense is killing me, Jake.
100% loaded. All right. Well, hold on. Something just glitched here. Oh, it's funny now that. Okay, so give me 1 second here. Okay.
All right.
Oh, you know what? I'm doing this wrong. Give me 1 second here, ladies and
All
gentlemen.
right.
We're almost. Let's
Well, this is the time on X when we
see.
dance. Well, my avatar is dancing a lot better than I do. We've got technology that will allow your camera to capture and map um, things like motion and dancing and facial expressions onto an avatar. That's not imminent by a long shot, and it hasn't even really been tested. It needs to be integrated properly. But I keep thinking, like, unless we start to get filters on that stuff, which is really next level kind of AI. I really like the way that we have the dancing where it's motion captured, and I look good on the dance floor no matter what dance I pick. I don't really want my camera watching me try to do some John Travolta moves, the white man dance.
Yeah. um. Well, okay. So I got a winner here. So first winner
All
of the
right,
day, third prize is Volt at VV. I'm sorry, at V Vortex 56702. Again, that's V Vortex 56702. If you're listening, you won the third place. Please go ahead and DM us here on Otherverse on X, and we will coordinate your prize. Congratulations.
all right. Well, congratulations, and uh, with our first winner down. Remember, of course, if you've been on the space last week, that will give you an eligibility for doubling the prize as we do every week. And I'll give everybody a bonus right now. Uh, uh, if you're listening, here's the alpha news that everyone is queued up and waiting for. Jake, you ready for me to roll?
Yep, run it.
Um, All right. So we've, in addition to all this other stuff that I've been doing, investor relations and investor deck and all of this stuff, a lot of focus has been on, I said last week, the token, Uther, getting it verified, putting all of the security in place, making sure that all the plumbing is correct, so that there will be no malfunctions here, and we have the plan is now in the process of being implemented. So what we're going to see with the Uther token here in short order, and we had to review the smart contracts, we had to review the minting contracts, and how everything works on Solana, make sure that we know exactly what we're doing, um, before we take any step. And now that we've got that all planned out, what you're going to see here is that the mintability is going to go away. The full set of tokens will be minted to the Mint wallet. This is going to be a highly secured wallet, and these tokens are not, a circulating supply until they're moved from the minting wallet into a circulating supply. We're going to start having burn events where we're going to get rid of tokens that we don't need on a regular basis, um, and bring the supply down. But the entire process of minting out, because of the way that the smart contracts are written, we wrote them to limit the any possible damage. So there's a cap on how much can be minted at any given time in any given time period. So it's going to take multiple days to get the full set minted. So you'll see some numbers that look maybe a little bit strange while we execute this full mint process. Then the mintability warning flag will go away. Then we will become, then we're eligible to become verified as a token name, UTHR. We'll go through the Jupiter verification process. The token will become a verified token. Other flags will go away, other warning flags. As I said last week, the only one that's not going to go away is the freezability, because that's important for the safety and security of everybody who holds the token for the time being. Um, then, so minted, verified, CoinGecko, and we have a new program that's going to come out. I will be making an announcement about this next week. This is a liquidity program that is designed to, now that, so I've said this multiple times here in the past few weeks, but our last pre-sale distribution happens at the end of this month. Um, and that is sort of the trigger event for the liquidity program to go into place, where a full set of liquidity is expected to back up the token. So once we flush the token with substantially more liquidity, and there's going to be an opportunity for people if you want to participate in that. I will announce ways that you will be able to participate in a really fun program for liquidity provision, but that's news for next week. Once the liquidity then is in place, then it's open season for whales, and bringing in whales. And of course, we have quite a few whales that have already um, dipped their toe into the token pool, so to speak. But that's the point where we may see some substantial movement, and that's obviously sets the stage for us to move forward with all kinds of other stuff, like other exchange listings and uh, substantial attention. So yeah, that's the roadmap here in short order for the token. And again, another aspect that I'm really happy with and really excited about. And I'm glad that we did all the research and we really went through and made sure that everything was going to be rock solid.
It's exciting because that's another big topic. Is that right now, if you trade the token, there's some flags, and that will eliminate, not only will it eliminate all of it, but it's gonna it's the right timing, I think, too, because and we keep saying this every space. I feel like it's like the timing is just starting to align more and more. But we had a big run yesterday with the crypto in general, and then it pulled back this morning. And I think we're really close to that next big parabolic bull run, and it's perfect timing for, I think, for Utherverse and everything you're talking about.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, and independent of the crypto market, which I agree is aligning really nicely, there are so many things that are aligning perfectly for us at Otherverse and all of us as token holders. So just things like the state of the software, the state of the social center, and the way that those pieces play together, um, the partnerships that are coming together, the end of the pre-sale. The end of the pre-sale cycle. I have to say, I'm really glad. What a win for everybody involved that we changed the schedule from 18 months to 12 months. Um, I mean, we did that as a bonus to everybody that had joined us in the pre-sale, um, uh, deciding that instead of spreading the tokens that y'all got out over 18 months, we do it over 12 months. Um, but I guess karma comes back around because now instead of having another 6 months, and of course there is the bonus one. I'm not discounting that. That's coming out in December, January, once we've calculated who gets the bonus because they have staked or they didn't sell, right? Um, but notwithstanding that, which is going to diamond hands anyway, um, now the decks are cleared where we're not going to have this sort of cyclical as we get to the end of the month. Maybe the people who are constantly and there aren't many, but dump tokens, um, and they've been dumping into under a token which does not have the liquidity for them to be able to really cause damage. But once the liquidity is there and these people are shaken out, the paper hands have shaken out, then there's really, smooth sailing, clear sailing for us to blow out the software. Like you say, Jake, some of the talent that we have in the wings waiting to come in is just going to be massive.
Yeah,
And as we draw in the kind of numbers that we've always been talking about, um, uh, there's nothing to hold back the success of the platform, the success of the token, the success of the project. So the timing is great and very interesting what's happening in the crypto market in general. But it's almost like we're going to become a completely separate wing where it doesn't need to be altcoin season for our utility token to benefit. Whether Bitcoin goes up or down, as we flood users in, and I mean, and people can see this for themselves. Just pop into the software whenever you like. There's always people there now, and the number of people keeps growing. So uh, the number of wallets keeps growing, and all of these metrics. So uh, good times. Good
super
times.
awesome. Yeah, and funny because me, I feel like meme coin season is finally, with the pump fund thing taking a nosedive. It kind of helps, but like the meme coin season is really morphing into altcoin season, and I'm seeing so much of like when utility, where utility. It's like perfect for back to like talking about aligning. It's like we're we're right. We have this is the true utility. Um, as this is set to be the next layer of the internet. I also want to say one thing. I see someone, a community member that I haven't seen in so long. Pat, I want to give a big shout out to Pat, Chill Pat, one of the OG members, trunk holders, been here since Web3, since we started. Good to see you, Pat. If you want to come up, request, we'll bring you up on to stage.
Oh, hey, yes, I see a blinkless
Yeah,
icon.
right,
How awesome is that?
right.
Oh, yeah, that was a fun event.
Yeah, it was.
Will be many more of those. We should rescreen that
Yeah, we
movie.
should.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's actually a really entertaining
Yeah,
movie.
it's great. It's great.
Yeah. Uh, uh, and yeah, I mean that'll be a perfect sort of feature for the release of our events system, which is imminent. Um, and that event system is really going to be next level, and that's going to also do a whole other thing with play to earn. So yes,
Very
um,
exciting, sir. Very exciting. I, I don't
yeah,
see any questions over here. Let's look on YouTube real quick. See if we have any questions from YouTube.
yeah. I wonder how we're doing on YouTube, but uh, yeah, interesting moves in the crypto space generally. Um, I'm um, I saw an announcement from uh, the administration that they're not going to be buying Bitcoin for Bitcoin
It was
strategic
a pump
reserves.
fake because right before the space started, just read something that they've approved 700 million to for they've set aside for Bitcoin specifically. They just approved.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not sure, but it was a credible source, so more will be revealed, right?
Yep. But it's all opportunity. Uh, this space, the crypto space, but particularly with a utility token, I mean, you know, it's a requirement to have it, and yeah, it's very interesting to watch these market fluctuations where that these things just go up.
Yeah,
uh,
yeah.
every dip is an opportunity. Um,
It,
but yeah, they should really get the messaging straight.
yeah, yeah. It's causing the market to flux or panic flux. I'm also in here in the comments looking for any questions. I know there's a few people in here right now that always have really good questions. Anyone that has a question, you guys want to come up on stage, request. We have some room up here on stage to bring some people up and talk with Brian.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, boy, we've achieved quite a bit this week. I'm really impressed with some of the new marketing materials and some of the just God across the board. Um, but very interested to start seeing some of the DJs on screen and these. I mean, I think we're highlighting a couple of the real killer apps that are just so disruptive to everything else. It so reminds me of the when the internet came into its own with Web one after the Mosaic browser, but really after Netscape Navigator came on the scene, and everybody would talk about how disruptive the internet was, disruptive to all these business verticals. And some of those business verticals, I mean, it was very apparently disruptive. Stock trading. I mean, who's calling a broker, right? I mean, you obviously trade stocks on online and on an app. And Amazon is just a perfect example. They just crushed Barnes and Noble when they entered the book sale market, and nobody was going to physical bookstores anymore. I mean, you have these bankruptcies across the country. But I always said, there are verticals that almost haven't been touched at all, and Utherverse and our virtual world web is going to replicate the disruption that happened with the original internet and the introduction of the World Wide Web. The virtual world web, I mean, I'm watching the video as I'm talking here of our convention, Virtual Con from last year. And I mean, this Virtual Con as a convention, I mean, I don't see brick and mortar conventions surviving the digital transition to virtual world web, to metaverse, to immersion, especially when you consider the AI component that goes in, that you really can't do in the real world. Maybe a little bit if you're wearing, these goofy glasses from Meta, but having an AI companion that's recording everything, that's guiding you through the trade show floor, that can, direct you to tell me when this booth is available for me to talk to their business developer. But so much more than that. You're able to man the booth. Your staff is able to man the booth from your office or from their homes without traveling. The construction costs are essentially zero. It's just digital building. The ESG and the carbon footprint essentially goes to zero. You're able to attract people globally to the conference and convention. So the people that can attend the speaking sessions, the panels, the keynote, they go up by orders and orders of magnitude, and the cost structure is just reduced by orders of magnitude, and you really miss nothing. It's just all a benefit. I mean, people used to say to me, well, I like coming home with swag. Well, talk about swag. You get a digital swag bag that's full of NFTs and music and uh, all these digital assets, avatar assets, clothing assets. It's so much more compelling, and you don't end up throwing a bunch of, forgive the language, shit away. And then another there's so many verticals that get completely disrupted. Um, Music, obviously. I mean, I'm imagining a day when we've got something like a Taylor Swift show that attracts 200 million people in one event. You know, and if they each pay $10 for a ticket, I mean, this is billions of dollars.
$10 or 10,
Um,
10 what? 10 Uther?
well, yeah. $10 of Uther, which is probably going to be like what, point 0.1 Uther, I hope,
Yeah.
I, at the time. But yeah, you're talking about an enormous amount of money that can come in for a single show. So just imagine how great that show can be. I mean, months could go into the pyrotechnics and the immersion. If you have a VR headset, it could be a whole other experience. I mean, I'd like to think to myself, like, because I grew up, listening to the Beatles, like Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. You could just have a whole experience, the Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds LSD experience, as part of a concert. And you can't do that in the real world, obviously, and you can't cram 200 million people into a venue. These kind of disruptive um, events and business verticals. Um, I mean, uh, to me, it's so inevitable. Like it's impossible to avoid the concluding that this absolutely has to happen. Um, and so, who's going to do it? Well, here we are, uh, uh, and bringing this stuff to life. And it's amazing, having worked through, as I say, the earliest versions of the internet, and really been a disruptor on the earliest versions of the internet, and seeing that virtual world web takes it to a whole other level. And the value proposition for the company, the value proposition for the token, the value proposition for anybody who comes in early to be an influencer or to become a business owner that wants to grab one of these verticals and really run with it. And that's what's most exciting is, we're going to be opening up the tool set here imminently for people to be able to do this on
Oh
their
wow,
own.
that's literally a question from Magic Bean. Might roll into
Ah,
it. Yeah. So she said, "Is it cool if I roll into it?"
yeah,
Yeah.
sure,
So she
sure.
said, Magic Bean said, "Will there be any kind of testing phase for creators, perhaps small groups of the originals, or classic creators? Anything about the launch of those creator tools?"
Yeah, okay. Well, before I get into it, why don't you give away some
Yep.
money?
All right. I already got the next winner picked. Next
Awesome.
winner, second place winner. If you're listening, is drum roll please. At Priest 110589, Priest 110589. Congratulations, you've won the second place prize today here on Utherverse Live. Go ahead and DM us here on Utherverse, and we will coordinate that prize out to you. Congratulations.
Congratulations. Fantastic. So, to address Magic Bean, um, who was a winner last week.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, yes, for sure. We will be rolling out tools. So uh, when we are ready. So the events system is going to be the first of these tools. Is going to be by the standards of Classic, our Classic Metaverse software. This system is going to be rudimentary, and what I mean by that is it's going to be very simple to use. It's point click pull down menus. anybody will be able to create events, rent regions, because they're not decoing the region. They may have access to be able to change out some of the imagery, some of the textures in the region that are dynamic. Obviously, have control over the video screens, the audio channels, as I discussed at the beginning of this show. But other than that, the tools are going to be very user friendly, very easy to use, no training required. But the next set of tools where it's texturing existing meshes for avatar clothing and avatar accessories, for example, and then creating meshes, creating hair, creating these accessories. Um, I, I would like to offer classes in other academy, and it's just a matter of us ramping that up when we're getting closer to releasing those tools, which isn't too far out. I did have a chance actually to update the timeline, although it hasn't been published to the white paper yet. I updated the roadmap and the timeline for release of tools and such, but that's only right now in the new investor deck. But it will get published to the white paper. Um, and as we close in on releasing those tools, we'll do some training, because the clothing, obviously, and the accessories, obviously, are much, much higher fidelity now than in Classic. The avatars, I mean, we're releasing a new set of avatars that are just, I mean, I thought this set is good, but the next set is like really unreal, with blend shapes and all kinds of customizations, morphing. We call it now plastic surgery, but to be able to modify your avatar's features really um, with great control. These things are going to require more skill, because it's so much higher quality. So a little bit of training, though I don't think it's going to be anything beyond things that our existing designers in Classic can handle. And then we will also have to do some training on, because uh, the regions, when it comes to deco and creating new regions that aren't just off the shelf from our catalog, but creating new regions. This requires a lot more skill, because there's so much that goes into the lighting of the regions, and the details and the control that you have over it, that will definitely be offering classes in other academy. Um, and I mean, I plan to move other academy classes into Xeon, not move them, but offer classes as well in Xeon. And if for anybody listening who isn't familiar with Classic, of course, we have a school basically in Classic, other academy, where we do all kinds of classes and training, and fun classes, everything from improv to how to use software tools, but of course, we train on our stuff as well, and so we'll move that. We'll be offering classes for sure, because I want the community to be knowledgeable and experienced and highly successful and sought after, and that's the way to do it. Dun, 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 dun. I think we might have lost Jake here for a bit.
I'm here. Sorry, I was muted. I was speaking to myself.
Oh.
Sorry about that. But yeah, Death, I see your hand up. We're gonna get to you in just 1 second. Brian, I have another question for you from the community.
All right.
So Dancy says, when will UV go on the U.S. stock exchange that some of us invested in?
Oh, great. So you came in from Republic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I um, uh, so I've been talking about this new investor deck, and we're doing it. Uh, I'm trying to think of what I'm allowed to say in a public space, because I'm not soliciting investment here. But let's just say um, there's 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 rounds of investment that need to happen before we can IPO, and I'm working with people, and I as much as I would like to discuss this openly, I need legal advice about what I'm allowed to say that wouldn't constitute soliciting investment in this kind of environment. So I'm going to just sort of say I'm unable to answer that question other than to say, hold tight. there's things happening. I can't give an answer without securities lawyers telling me what I'm allowed to say. Sorry.
So I guess better question: things are things in progress for that?
Yeah, things are in motion. I mean, I'm really excited about what we did with Republic, um, and but the crowdfunding is not really it's not where we are anymore.
Yeah.
We've moved on to real rounds from like typically companies I can say generally maybe typically companies at a seed stage might do a crowd fund, and then do like a friends and family round, and then do a seed round, then a mezzanine round, and then an IPO. So blah blah blah. I'm not going to talk specifically about us, but just as a general thing, there are typically rounds for companies before they IPO, and that underwriters are going to want to see. Underwriters would want to see that from any company.
Hmm.
So sort of institutional backing before they're going to underwrite, a Nasdaq listing, for example. So I'm not promising anything. It's not investment advice, and you know, I guess I hate being asked questions that I'm not necessarily allowed to answer. But
No, I think that's adequate, and I think that you just leaving it that things are in the progress, they're in process, and we're every day is a step toward that. I think is fair, right?
every day we are making progress. Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. But Dancy, thanks for the question. That was another thing that we did I think a year ago now, and it's not forgotten. Things are still moving forward.
Right, right. And I like posting up progress on Republic, um, and everybody who's come in to support the project is very valued. So it's all about community for me. It's all about making all of us happy and all of us successful in the future. And that's my mission statement.
Beautiful, beautiful, Brian. All right, well, Death. Thanks for being patient, man. How you doing?
Good, good. How you guys doing?
Great, man.
You're good.
That's good to hear. I have
Welcome
a
in.
question come through in the Discord from Chad 1974.
Yeah.
He's wondering when are trunks and apartments being released, if we have a date set for that we're able to say, or what we can and can't say on that.
Another great question.
Yeah. So there is not a set date. The trunks get released when we have the possession system in place that accommodates the NFTs and FNFTs, um, and the deco system in place so that they can open and you can get your Zabi, your penthouse, or your luxury apartment. We are we're looking at that being next year in 2026. Um, but we haven't been able to set a date because so many things may happen quickly, may run into issues. I'm anticipating the possession system going live without much difficulty, and I believe that we will be able to accommodate NFTs and FNFTs in very short order. That's part of the business plan with our sovereign Mindy. And I know I've been seeing chatter all day from Mindy about hosting a very, very cool art event that involves NFTs. So the system, I believe, for that is almost ready to go, or ready. It's I take that back. I believe is ready to go. Just needs to be tested, and if it tests out properly, I don't see any problems with the NFT system. And then it's just a matter of getting the deco system done, But that's a major component. Um, in order to allow users to be able to build out their own regions and to have their own regions. Um, and once that's done, then we can do the trunks. So I haven't forgotten, and boy, these trunks, I mean, they contain some really fantastic stuff. Um, so hang on to the trunks. It would be my advice. Um, they're going to be in, I believe, not investment advice. I just advice for uh, in-world assets and for having fun possessions in world. These are going to be in high demand. So you're going to be oh boy, the word that comes to mind is peacocking. With some of these rare and uh, um, what's the word, beyond rare, Jake.
You mean legendary?
Yeah, yes, some of these legendary FNFTs, boy oh boy. uh, I see one of them pop up in my closet every now and then, and I'm not allowed to wear it because they're not authorized yet. But like, oh god, I want to put that on, but nobody can see it because it's prohibited. Yep.
Thanks, Death, for farming that one, and
Yeah.
great question. So I'm got some more people coming up here. Sci-fi, well, you've been up for a bit. How you doing? You got a question for Brian?
Yeah, sure do. Hi, Brian.
Hey, sci-fi.
Okay. I'm gonna kind of help you out, Brian. You're talking about creating things. Yes or no? The new world is on the Unity game engine, right?
Yep.
Okay. Now, for all you people out there, especially you creators and deco people, this, that, and all, if you've got some skills in the Unity game engine, you're already one step up. Now, to help Brian out, because, you can't say too much, but I'm going to help you out. Okay, so you're basically running a town. You have now, yes, street racing is illegal, but think about this: you're a major of the town. So now, I'm not gonna say the name of the city that used to street race, but at the end of the quarter mile was a pizza place, and the loser would have to buy the winner the pizza, this, everything else, and all. Now, think about this: you're creating a town with your friends. You can have a pizza place, a street race place, a cheeseburger place, a coffee shop place, a place to, play the latest movie. But at the end of the day, you're creating all of this stuff that at the offset now in classic we get what we call raise. But in the new world, you be getting the new utility token given to you, and if you kind of like, real player, if you think about that way, you are creating a whole entire town with your friends, and at the same time, you are generating an income to you and your friends. And yet, because of social media and YouTube, Twitch, and all that lovely crap, um, thank you, Brian, for what you're doing. But again, if you've got Unity Game Engine skills, you're already one step ahead. But at the same time, yes, soon we're going to be able to do this just like we do in Classic, but a lot more than what we can do in Classic. So thank you, Brian.
Yeah, you bet. I mean, that's the beauty of the Unity game engine, that obviously we've built an enormous amount on top of, but at the base level, Unity has lots and lots of tools that allow for very cool gamification and games and unique sort of avatars and when you think about putting together rides and shows and as I said earlier, like a whole experience, like a Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds kind of experience. These things, they're they take the what I grew up with, what people my age experienced in the real world, and they going to concerts and having to fight crowds and traffic, and then waiting in line and all of that, and it digitizes it and elevates the experience. So that's why it's so disruptive. to these business verticals that are in brick and mortar. And that's why what you're talking about is going to be so compelling, because people that have skills, or they want to hire people with skills to be able to create these kind of towns and these kind of events and these kind of uh, business segments, this is going to be an off the charts kind of, uh, well, the opportunity, like the original internet, building out the first websites. If you know what you're doing, the opportunity is there. That's what we're providing. So thanks, man.
Beautiful.
Yep, yep. Now, the next
You know,
question.
real quick, sci-fi. We have a few minutes left, and we got a couple more people. Let's take one more question from you. But let's just try to keep it within.
Okay, I'm going to keep it real short.
Yes.
Brands, are you going to be allowing brands such as, I'm not going to say the name of the world, but in the other world, they have Ford Mustangs that you can legally drive. Uh, their key to their no car, this, that, and all. Are you going to be allowing brands in your world soon that can come and develop, create, that have a brand? Like, hey, I'm driving a Ford Mustang in
Oh yeah.
Brian's world.
Oh yeah. I mean, we talk with various brands regularly, and uh, once we passed through some of these next phases, of course, um, I'm particularly thinking about fashion brands and accessory brands immediately, but obviously, car brands and airplane brands, sports teams and brands, all of that stuff. It's definitely all coming in over time. Yeah, 100%.
Yep. Thank you, Ryan. All
You
right, I'm
bet.
gonna step down. Next person. Bye.
Great,
Take care, man.
great questions. Great questions. Um, Marty, you have a quick question for Brian?
Yes, I do. I was reminded about when you're talking about NFTs and property. I actually bought an NFT um, with I get the
Nexus or
um oh god, my brain just went south. Um,
yeah,
about
put you on the spot.
penthouses. It was a penthouse and a regular and a luxury
Right.
apartment. But I have both of those. So how is that going to be handled? What should I do with both of those
Yeah.
properties?
Well, those are really part of what we were discussing here with the trunks. So um,
Yeah.
when the trunks are available, what we're basically waiting on ultimately is that system for user. Well, I refer to it in shorthand as user housing, but it's really user ability to create their own virtual world web location, their own property, and the property system. When the property system is ready to go and live, then those will all be redeemed. So you'll get your penthouse and you get your luxury apartment, and you will be able to uh, customize it, and all kinds of fun stuff that's going to happen. I've got a whole business plan around the building. We call these Zabbies, the user housing, and the Zabby building as a community. It's kind of the elite community of people who were able to get these properties that are highly restricted and in the prime location on the Utherverse Plaza. Um, and I think that community, that sub community of our overall community, is going to have a lot of fun and a lot of events. And there's a lot that's going to go on there with the Zabby building, as there is a lot that goes on with the Zabby building in Classic. So uh, uh, yeah, um, uh, patience, but it will be rewarded.
Okay, so I can rent one out if I wanted to,
Of course,
for sure. Okay, thank you very much. I'm
you
done.
bet,
Mhm.
you bet.
Great question. Great question. We have someone new up here. O'Grady, Jessica, do you have a question for Brian before we wrap this up? It does not look like it. Okay. Well, if that's the case, Pat, super chill, super ultra extra chill, Pat. has a question. And we'll wrap this up here after this one. So he said that he just moved into the VR headset. Any updates on the development for that?
Well, yeah. So it is possible now to sideload this software and to run it in a VR headset, but it requires some skill. Once we have completed our load testing and opened up the event system, and there's a couple of other pieces that we need to get done, then we are going to turn some development attention to optimizing for virtual reality headsets, um, and release to that market. So, right now it's a little bit clunky, but you could do it. And I've seen it, and it's really spectacular. And again, like, on the edge of my seat. I mean, there are a number of areas that I'm really anxious to start to plug in. Virtual reality headsets is one, because just the visuals are stunning. The problem I've got primarily is the user interface, um, because how do you chat in a VR headset if you're blind to the keyboard, um, and also motion. Walking around as an avatar. I mean, for me, ironically, um, I get VR sickness quite easily. Ironic, I say, because I developed so much of the technology that underpins virtual
Mhm.
reality. Um, but I can't walk around. I can't have my avatar walk, or I immediately get sick. So, and there are ways to cure that. I actually have patents on ways to mitigate the VR sickness aspect. But really, the best way to do it is to have your avatar sort of jump instead of walk. And so, little things like that need to be tweaked in order for me to be happy with releasing a VR headset version. But development attention right now is on sort of these primary attributes, to get the core feature set going. The other area that I'm really, really excited about is the full integration of AI, so that what I really want to see happen is um, AI being able to control the avatars, which is totally unique as an offering. And I talked about it last week, but this AI team that's got to get fully up to speed, and then start implementing this stuff through our API system, where once the avatars can be fully controlled by AI, then we've got a really unique AI offering, and the value to this is enormous. I've used a number of examples like AI bartender, or AI sort of uh, party host or hostess that knows who else is at the party, is able to, if people have given consent, able to know their interests, and if they're interested in meeting people, or exactly what they want to have happen. And the hostess can act as a real party hostess. Look, I'm going to have I'm going to run some games here. I want to make some introductions here. I'm going to start this discussion with this group over here. The hostess could be cloned. There could be, there's so many things that can happen that just facilitate, um, and really bring artificial intelligence utility to people without really them even needing to do anything, not learn how to prompt or anything like that. Those areas are two of the areas that really excite me. Obviously, the other areas bring it to mobile. So we have all of these development paths forward that are enormous value to the company, and value to everybody, and to the experience. So prioritizing it and getting it done. But yeah, I love the VR headset stuff. I can't wait for that to be easy and readily available to everybody.
Beautiful. Well, Pat, I hope that answers your question, brother. That's yeah. So, should we give away the final prize, Brian?
You got it. Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so I have already picked a winner here. He's another solid community member. Drum roll, please. Grand prize winner is at Bilbo Baggins. Stephen M. Congratulations if you're listening. You are the grand prize winner of the day. And with the potential of a 2x multiplier, please go ahead and DM us here on Utherverse to claim and coordinate your prize. Congratulations.
Have I sent winnings to this account before?
Yes,
Uh,
yes, yeah.
yeah,
He's been he's been in every space.
yeah. Well, thank you so much, and well deserved.
Congratulations. Great questions today, Brian. Great job here. We're a little bit over. I think that's all right. Let me just check real quick if we have any questions. Nothing here on YouTube at the moment, which is great. That we'll be building that account as well. Any final words you have for the community here, Brian?
Just stay tuned. It really, again, the call to action on this stuff. Um, I appreciate the support that everybody gives. I really appreciate you all coming and listening every week, because it makes the show much more fun and engaging for me, and I'm sure for everybody who's listening. But throughout the week, let's expand the community. Please repost, rebroadcast on any of the social media channels, because at this point we're beginning the what I expect to be an exponential growth of the community. And anybody that you introduce at this early stage, I'm sure is going to be thanking you for years to come, that you were able to get them in as one of the OGs, even though it's not an OG like you guys. um, but this is the point in time where you can assist, and every little bit helps. So that's the call to action. As Jake said, some of these pop-up events of load testing, when the developers get an idea for what they might be able to break, that's always helpful too. And pop in world when you have a chance. There's always people there now, so it's I like to say it's a cure for boredom. You come in, and I mean, I always get a laugh. That everybody in the community is so nice and has such a good sense of humor, and it's just entertaining. It's a great way to spend a few minutes or spend an hour, or to go to the events. So I appreciate all of your support, all of your attention, and thanks, Jake. Thanks for all the questions, everybody. Thanks, Death. And yeah, my favorite time of the week is coming to an end.
Until next week, everyone, stay safe, be good. Thank you so much, Brian. We'll see you all next week, same time, same place. All right, guys.
Thanks,
Have a
Jake.
great day.